Alright, hello everyone, and welcome back. So today, we're going to be talking about Dnf Duel, and the future patch is going to be coming out for it real soon, here in December, hopefully, as long as they didn't lie to us. So basically, what the patch is, it's supposed to be a patch of only buffs, so I figured, why not go in here and see, hey, what buffs do I think will get added? Now, I will start this off by saying I am not an expert on many of these characters. I only really main two characters in Ranger and Ghostblade. Everyone else I just kind of watch. I will play every once in a while, so my suggestions won't be probably the best. But we got Twitch chat on the left to make fun of me if I say anything stupid about their characters, because we got a bunch of people in here who play a bunch of these characters that I don't. Now, I think it's safe to say Hitman doesn't really need any buffs. I don't know of anything. I really don't know of anything Hitman could possibly need as a buff. I mean, honestly, this character's insane. He kind of just does whatever he wants when he wants. You know? Like, he really just does whatever he wants. Especially with that awakening of his. If anything, Hitman needs a freaking nerf. That's what he needs, in all honesty. Hitman needs a nerf. And I could probably talk about a couple of nerfs that Hitman probably needs, but we're not here to talk about that. What we're really here to talk about are buffs, because apparently the patch that is coming will only be buffs. Hitman needs a damage buff on 4M. No. No. He does not. I'm gonna go ahead and veto that. He does not. If anything, I think Hitman's probably gonna get like minor buffs, like, hey, this is slightly faster now. This has less recovery now. Like I really can't think of anything else he would get besides that. I mean, I guess he could get that for a damage ender. Yeah, that's very possible. He very possibly could get a bunch of buffs, and he just doesn't need them. But who knows, maybe after all the buffs that everyone else gets, he would need them. But it's going to be interesting to see how they handle Hitman, considering that right now Hitman kind of has a strangle on the entire game. To use follow-up awakening magic skill. But yeah, it's gonna be very interesting to see how they handle Hitman. I think Hitman's gonna more benefit from universal buffs. And speaking of universal buffs, I feel like one thing that I hope gets buffed is roll. I feel like roll needs to get buffed, because roll in this game really does not. I feel like it gets you punished more than anything. So I feel like that's the one thing Hitman's gonna really benefit from, is a roll buff. And if they do anything with guard cancel or add maybe more defensive options, that also is something that he could probably benefit from. But other than that, he really doesn't need anything for himself. So next character we got is Troubleshooter. Now, I play a little bit of Troubleshooter. I'm no expert on him. But I feel like the one thing Troubleshooter needs is just to be quicker. I feel like Troubleshooter just needs to be quicker. I feel like that's his major issue, is that he's just extremely slow on everything. And we have one of the best troubleshooters in the games in the chat right now, Baconhausen. And he says that 5AA on whiff would be one of his best things, so I would agree, because having that second swipe would actually help quite a bit, rather than just being forced to do this. Because then you could technically, for Ranger slide, or maybe launcher slide, striker slide, if they want to go in, you can just whiff this, and then they'll slide in, and you punish them with that. That's very situational, but basically what I'm saying. But yeah, I feel like the main thing Troubleshooter needs just be a little bit quicker. And I feel like they could also... One of his best tools is the net. But the net, when you put it out, it actually goes away if you get hit. And there are other characters that have that stuff as well. But I feel like, for Ranger, for example, his grenade, if you hit him, it doesn't go away. It stays there. And so I feel like that's something that they could give to Troubleshooter as well, you know? Just let him keep his net out when he gets hit. See, I think his net should go ahead and stay out, so that way he kind of has something so, like, he can use, like, as a defensive option. The standing grenade goes away on hit as well. I did not know that standing grenade goes away on hit. See, that also seems weird to me that his standing grenade goes away on hit. Let's see if the CPU can figure out what to do here. That combos? I'm surprised. But yeah, see, like that right there, the net going away, I feel like is such a big issue with Troubleshooter, and I feel like it's staying on hit wouldn't cause him to be too crazy. I really don't feel like it would cause him to be too insane, so I feel like that's like, just make some of his frame data a little bit better, let him keep his net, and other than that, I feel like he'd be okay for the most part. Like and then whatever universal buffs he would get. You can give him the 5AA on whiff as well. Anyways, let's move on. Next up, we have Dragon Knight, another of the top tiers that have been kind of plaguing the game as of late. Not as of late, she's been plaguing the game for a while. And this one is another one, just like Hitman. I really don't know what they could give Dragon Knight, or what exactly she really needs. She's already really good with... She's already really well with keeping her meter high. She doesn't have issues with that. She has good pressure. So it's like, I don't know exactly what they could give her, or what they could, as Neon would put, a trade-off. So yeah, this one I'm kind of looking more to chat to see what they could possibly do. More range on her standing normals. I can see that. I can see like a small range increase with her. That wouldn't make her too busted. Whoops. But yeah, I don't. She's very much, at least in my opinion, she's very much in the Hitman boat, where you can't really give her too much, because I feel like if you give her too many buffs, she's gonna be too powerful. I don't know. She's a very good character already, in my opinion. He doesn't need much. That wasn't a correct combo, but it worked. But yeah, Dragon Knight I feel like is already very good. She's in the Hitman boat. Can't really give her too much without it being too insane. More range on her normals, a higher bounce on her 4S. Yeah, I mean, that all sounds fine to me. I really don't think that caused too much issues, so... Yeah. It is an interesting idea to make it to where you can't hit Astra, but you can hit her. That'd be a really interesting change. Because it would be a buff, but it would be a trade-off at the same time. I don't know how I feel about that, though, because I feel like some characters that don't have the range options on that can get really destroyed or really just, like, negated by her. But I don't know, that'd be something I'd have to see in gameplay rather than just think about. See, that's the interesting thing. Is it going to be all frame data and damage changes? I honestly feel like there might honestly be new routes. I feel like they could actually give new routes. It would not surprise me at all if there's new routes. I honestly feel like some characters could honestly get new animations as well for new attacks or stuff. I feel like that... I know it's not very likely, but I feel like there is a small chance that some characters do just get a new move altogether. Whether it uses reused assets, or it's an actual new animation, it'd be interesting to see. But I feel like that's possible. There's a small chance, but I feel like it's possible. Yeah, Lost Warrior, it's frame data. He needs better frame data. That's really all it is. His damage is already insane. It's just he's super slow. I mean, basically grab is his fastest option, which is kind of insane to think about. But I really know nothing about Lost Warrior. The only thing I really know is that his frame data is complete poo. So, yeah, they just need to make this boy a little bit quicker. No. No, nerd. Time stop on one stack, that's a no. That's a no. Some mix-ups options? I don't know if he really needs mix-ups options. Like I feel like giving him, I don't know, maybe. I guess like none of his moves really are mix-ups. This might just be me, but I feel like this move right here, that move needs a nerf. That move needs a big nerf. I hate this move with a passion. I really do. That might just be a me thing, though. But, yeah, I mean, frame data, maybe a little bit more mix-up. His awakening. Yeah, that's basically it. Next up. You're right, as a Ranger player, I do hate it. I just feel like it's so quick. I feel like if it was just like a frame or two slower, it'd be perfectly fine. But anyways, now we got Berserker Boy. So, Berserker Boy, I feel like one of the buffs he could get is maybe Frenzy not taking away so much white health, or so much health. Let's see. Main display. That is not what I was looking for. What am I looking for? There we go. So let's look at... Where's the bars? Let's see. How much does Frenzy take off at that rate? Yeah, Berserker losing that would ruin the high risk, high reward playstyle. I don't know, it's just like for Berserker, I really don't know what they could give him. Like, he's not insane top tier like Hitman, Dragon Knight, and, I don't know, Striker, whoever you would put as 3. So there's there's definitely some things that they could give him. Because that high risk, high reward playstyle really like balances him out. I'd even go as far to say that Berserker... I'd go as far to say his Berserker might be the most balanced character in the game. Just because the high risk, high reward playstyle really, really just kind of... It really sets him up, you know? Yeah, he can do a crap ton of damage, but he's also killing himself in the process. To the point where sometimes his long combo ends with him taking more damage from it than you did yourself. Give his JM a hitbox on the way down. Yeah, true. I honestly didn't realize it didn't have a hitbox on the way down. I just assumed it did. Yeah, that could easily be something that works for him. I don't really think his command grabs needs to be quicker or anything. I think it's perfect speed. Yeah, like I truly do think Berserker's like the most balanced character in this game. I really don't know what to say here. I don't know, maybe Gorocross could be a little bit better. Yeah, I really don't know. I honestly feel like Berserker is one of the most balanced characters in the games. I've even seen some high level players get killed from the amount of combos they have to do with Berserker. Alright, Vanguard. This guy has a lot broken with him. First, his DP sucks. His DP really does suck, because you can just crouch it. I honestly feel like for Vanguard, they could just make his DP. Honestly, just take away the... to make it cost less as mana. Maybe some people would get it. It'd be a lot more bearable that it sucks as bad as it does. Vanguard needs to be allowed to, I think he needs to be allowed to actually move from his normals into his special attacks. I think it's ridiculous that he can't. And that's something I just found out recently from Furious Pillow in our discussion videos on Vanguard that we had a couple weeks ago. Make sure you guys give that a watch in case you want to see more detail from someone who actually knows how to play Vanguard on what Vanguard could use in the buffs and nerfs category. Not very many nerfs, just more buffs more than anything. His 2A is completely horrible. His 2A is completely unusable. It's a very slow 2A for the range it has. I know this move whiffs quite a bit. That was one thing we talked about, was how his 5A is known for whiffing on a lot of things, even when crouched and stuff. But I think it's just weird that he can't go from his normals into his skill attacks. He has to go straight into his mana skills. Switch the animation between his DP and his super. I don't know what the reaction to that would be. That would fix the DP issue, because that as a DP would honestly work really well. I think this would be a perfect DP animation. I don't know how people would feel about that being his super animation, though. I mean, you would be able to combo into it, though. I mean, just doing this, you'd be able to do it. Because they'd be in the air for you to hit them with it. What's that other move? That would also combo into it. Yeah, I mean, that could be the switch right there, just switching the animations. Yeah, Vanguard just has a lot of stuff he needs. And I'm not even sure if I could name all the stuff he could need. If you really want to see it, highly recommend watching that video I did with Furious Pillow. I'll have it linked in the description, or have it up annotated up in the top right corner. Let's go ahead and move on to the next character. Yeah, his 2A is way too slow. Vanguard's 2A is atrocious with how slow it is and stuff. And the range on it, it's practically worthless. Hey Neon, can we ban that person?
I'm gonna use my full strength, okay?
The promotion bot. Oh, Nerd Blender got it. Alright. So next we have the... This character doesn't need anything. This character needs to be nerfed to the ground and deleted from the files of the game. That's basically all.
I'm gonna use my full strength, okay?
That's basically all they need. This character needs to be deleted from the game and never seen from again. Okay, but no, seriously, Striker in my opinion is top 3 in this game. There's not really too much she needs. She's in the same boat as Berserker, Hitman, and Dragon Knight, you know? What more can you like give her? Letting her super mid-screen? Is that really necessary, though, considering how much corner carry she can get? I feel like the amount of corner carry she can get in almost every combo she does means that she can get her super regardless. Yeah, I agree. The slightly wider DP range could be a nice buff for her, because her DP range is atrocious. I mean, you can kind of fix it by doing a running DP, but yeah, slightly wider DP range could help. Maybe just making it to where no matter what, it has that slight forward angle on it
Careful.
could help. I still think it's weird that she's allowed to combo after the DP like that. But that's just me. Yeah, I mean, maybe... Yeah, I really don't know what to say about this character. I really feel like this character's in a really good place. I feel like she's with there with Berserker in terms of being balanced. I mean, I hate this character, but at the end of the day, like... I think she really doesn't need much else. I feel like she's in a really good spot. So we're gonna go ahead and move on to Grappler. The Grappler. So yeah, this character, I don't know, like, I have a very weird opinion with Grappler because he's not horrible, but he's not great at the same time. He's mid-tier. I mean, he's mid-tier, but some people are able to play him really well. That makes it seem like he's extremely high tier. Like, you wouldn't know that he's not regarded as a low tier the way some people play him. So he's a very weird character. He definitely needs some changes. Low armor on shoulder. I don't know. But see, this is where my personal bias is coming in, because if there's low armor on that shoulder, I feel like it would be too much, because the only way to stop that shoulder is by hitting with the low. But yeah, I can see that being a really good buff for him, just giving him low armor on that. Maybe his counter could be a little bit better. I think his counter could be better. Maybe have it do more damage or like, whatever. Yeah, you're right. If you just tank this, if you just block it, then yeah, he's completely negative. So yeah, giving him low armor on that really is actually a good idea. It's just me being a ranger main. I kind of enjoy being able to shoot him out of it with the 2A. But no, you're right. Giving him low armor on that is a good change. Like, I feel like this jump kick is amazing, but I also feel like it comes out really slowly. I don't know, I really don't have much to say about Grappler. It comes out slow and it isn't that plus. Yeah, I feel like the jump kick could be a little bit quicker. I know a lot of grapplers use this to advance, but I feel like it should come out just a little bit quicker. I feel like this just coming out just a tad bit quicker would be better. And now we got Ranger, my main. And boy, oh boy. Well, first, frame data. I want this 2A to be just a slightly bit quicker. Just slightly bit quicker. Like a frame or two quicker, and I'd be happy with it. So right now, Rangers doesn't have an overhead. Ranger has no overheads in his setup. I feel like he should be allowed to have one overhead, and it is, a lot of people say jump B. This should be overhead, but I don't think it should. I think if anything in his arsenal should be overhead, it's jump A. This should be an overhead. I don't get why it's not, but it should be. This should be the one overhead Ranger has. I don't care what anyone says, this should be an overhead. I really don't know if he would get much out of it being an overhead, but it should be an overhead. I guess he could, like... I guess if that was an overhead, you could do... If someone's blocking low, you could go pop that. Like, that's pretty slow anyway, so like... I don't know, I feel like this needs to be an overhead. This needs to be an overhead. And then he can get a whole combo out of it like that. That would be dope to have. Do you think that 2A should stay 10 frames and 5S should be 8 frames? Yeah, I'd be okay with that as well. Cause yeah, I'd still rather have the 2A, but if they did that instead, I wouldn't be upset about it. In his DP, Ranger's DP is okay, but it has a weird issue. Let's see if I can try to get it. Where you get punished for DPing correctly. Like the first hit of it sticks, but then the rest of it drops. I'm trying to see if I can get it to happen. I might just have to find a clip of it happening. But yeah, I feel like they need to make it to where maybe Ranger's DP has like it kind of... You know how when Enchantress DPs, it kind of sucks people in? Having that happen. Maybe not as big of a suck in as Enchantress does. So I think Enchantress, if she DPs from here, it'll hit you. But maybe like from right here. Or maybe just from right there, it would suck you in. So that way it doesn't have that issue of the first hit hitting you. But then the rest of it dropping and you're allowed to get a full combo off a Ranger hitting you with the DP. That needs to be fixed. That needs to be fixed somehow. Besides that, I can't really think of anything else he would really need. There is one thing I would love to have, but it would require a new animation. And like I said earlier, I do have a small belief that they might add that in, but I'm not too hopeful for it. But if I had to say they were going to make anything, I want Ranger to have a shot that just goes diagonally up. Make it be 4A. Just the 4A, just a shot that goes diagonally up. You know, just have it go diagonally up. I have small faith that they might do that because they've done it for other games like Dragon Ball FighterZ. There's other Arxis games like Blaze Blue, I think that did it as well. So I think it's a small possibility. I'm not saying it's guaranteed. It's by no chance guaranteed. And yeah, it's more than likely going to be frame damage and frame numbers and damage numbers, but I'm hoping that's if a new move gets added, I'm hoping Ranger just gets a diagonal shot. Yeah, there's really nothing else Ranger really needs. If anything, he needs a nerf on the Gunhawks. It's a little ridiculous that people can guarantee a guard break with these from 150 mana. Like, if they could... Like, it sounds weird that a Ranger player says that, but I think some of Ranger's guard break setups are way too overpowered. They are definitely way too much. So they can definitely tone that down a little bit, but we're only talking about buffs here. So next up we got Launcher. Now this character, in my opinion, is the worst character in the game. So he just has like a lot of issues with everything. Yeah, she just needs better frame data, better damage. Maybe some mana distribution better. Give her better mana cost on her moves. She might even need new combo routes. This character just has a lot of issues that they need to fix. 4M, 10 frame startup. 4M. Yeah, that being quicker would help a lot. Launcher just needs a lot of help. They need a lot of help. She's just extremely slow. She originally doesn't get much out of being slow either. Like Lost Warrior. Lost Warrior is extremely slow as well, right? He has the insane damage output to at least compensate for that. Launcher doesn't have the insane damage. And you would say, oh, she has the range. A lot of that range you don't have to respect. You really don't have to you can basically... There's nothing Launcher has that you have to respect. There really isn't. Increase hit stun on JB. Yeah. Yeah, it's just... Launcher needs a lot of help. So here's hoping that, Here's hoping that Launcher gets something, because Right now, playing launcher is not fun. For launcher mains, it's not fun. They just have a lot of issues that they have to kind of work around with. But I have a feeling that launcher will be the character that has the most patch notes on her. Kind of like how Swiftmaster had the most for the last one. I feel like launcher is going to be like that for this next one. Alright, next up we got Inquisitor. Alright, for Inquisitor, the big thing she needs is more health. Inquisitor needs more health. There should be no reason why she doesn't have more health. Inquisitor, she needs more health. She has armor on, but yet she has the least amount of health in the game, tied with Swiftmaster and Enchantress. So that's ridiculous. I don't understand that. Her 5AA, 5B needs to always connect. That also would be a big help for Inquisitor. Yeah, that's weird that doesn't connect like that. Yeah, the pushback on that needs to be reduced. Her mana could be reduced a little bit too. Some of her moves take up just a little bit too much mana. So I mean that could also be reworked a little bit, but I honestly feel like just giving Inquisitor more health, like maybe giving her 1,000, would just be a big help of its own. And her damage, her damage can also get, her damage scaling also should be reduced. Cause her damage, Inquisitor can do a lot, and then you look up and it's like, oh, that was barely anything. But yeah, she really should have more health. Like, in all honesty, Ranger should have less health than Inquisitor. But that's not the case. Inquisitor actually has less. So that's insane to me. Yeah, I think like all of her tools and stuff are there. It's just fixing little stuff like some frame data, some connection issues. Her mana could be reworked just a little bit, make her take less for some of her moves, but it's really just health, a couple frame datas, and that's it. Because this character can still dominate pretty well, but yeah, she still needs some help. But I have high hopes. I think Inquisitor could very easily be the top tier. Like, be the character after this patch, depending on how well they take care of her and depending on how they take care of other characters. But I think Inquisitor could very easily be the best character in the game after the patch. Alright, next up we got Crusader. I really don't know what to say about this character. I think Crusader's in a good spot. Maybe make it to where his DP can't be grabbed. Make his orb bigger. You really think that needs to be bigger? I thought he was armored during this move. Is he not armored doing 5S? Striker's I did not know Striker could sprint under this. 5S is only projectile immune. Oh. Okay, this move. Okay, yeah, I was doing 5MS. Yeah, Crusader is definitely one character I don't know much about. This one I'm really relying on chat to give me suggestions as to what could be fixed on him. The handle becomes a hitbox? That's kind of odd. So if Berserker DPs right there, that hits me. I get what you mean. I don't think I'm going to be able to show it off, but I'm pretty sure I get what you mean, though. Oh, that's one thing you could definitely do, is give Skylaser more utility. The fact that I didn't know Crusader had this move until, what was it, 3 months into the game, is ridiculous. I legit did not know he had this move until like 3 months into the game, when one random Crusader just pulled it out on me, and I was just like, what the I've never seen this before. I've never seen this move before. You still rarely see it be used. It's a very situational thing. It's a very situational move. So yeah, they could definitely do something to Sky Laser to make it more viable. It's a guaranteed guard break. But I don't know. I never just see it get used, so the fact that it took that many months is crazy to me to find out that move even existed in the game. Oh, okay. This is one thing you could fix. So, like, I don't know if people would want this to be fixed, but it's just one thing I think it's weird. The vertical hitbox on the walls. What's the walls? There we go. The vertical hitbox on the wall is insane. It is extremely high. Like, extremely high. But the vertical hitbox on his DP is not. As a ranger, I was able to jump over his DP sometimes by using 2 rainstorms, or like Kuno could just double jump and completely miss it. But the walls would still hit you regardless. Which is weird because, like, if you look at the walls, the animation of the wall, it comes out from the ground. And, like, you can kind of see where the ending of the top of the wall is. You know, you can see it right there. It's not that high up. It would still hit Kuno way up in the air. While this, if you see his DP animation, it looks like it's coming from the sky, right? And it like ends in a burst at the ground. So you would think that the DP would hit from the sky as well, you know? It hit you high up there. It doesn't. So I feel like the vertical hitbox of the walls and the DP should be swapped. I know that it doesn't really matter. I feel like most people would rather have the walls have that vertical hitbox. Now, vertical hitbox issue doesn't really happen too often, but it was just a weird interaction I had in a time with the match. I think it was with Captain Tang. It was in a match against him, and it was extremely weird. Yeah, like what Bacon just said, make the first 3 frames very vertical and adjust it downward as the frame continues. I feel like that'd be a perfect way to do it. But yeah, like, I really don't think it's an issue that people care about, or like that would really affect the game. But just to make sense, I feel like that's something that should be fixed. And yeah, just getting rid of the armor and actually making it DP invincible would also just be a huge buff to Crusader, so that way he doesn't get grabbed out of it anymore. Other than that, I think Crusader doesn't need much. He's in a good spot, but he could definitely still have a lot of buffs and still not be overpowered, a la Hitman or Dragon Knight. Alright, Swiftmaster, I'm gonna be honest. I think Swiftmaster can stay exactly how he is and be perfectly fine. They just got done nerfing him. I really think they could just keep him the same. Like, honestly, if they're gonna buff him, maybe return him to like half of what he was on day 1, rather than returning fully to day 1 Swiftmaster. But yeah, I really don't think he needs anything. Better mana recovery. Yeah, if you want, just give him better mana recovery. Like, exactly. Like, what would a buff be to Swiftmaster without reverting him? So, yeah, we're moving on. There's really not much to talk about there. It's either the only buff they could really give him is just reverting him back to what he was. So, I mean, I guess you could give him like 25% or 50% of what he had. You could just give him faster mana recovery, as Bacon is saying. There's really not much else you could really give him. Alright, Enchantress. I would say just like a quick fix. Just like, for not knowing like a lot of intricacies about Enchantress. Give her a little bit more damage, so she doesn't have to rely on the command grab as much. Less whiff recovery would be great for Enchantress. Yeah, Bacon's right. She honestly doesn't need too much either. Like, less whiff recovery, I don't think her mana recovery is all that bad, or her mana cost is bad either. Her DP is great. I don't think we have any Enchantress players in the chat that might be able to give us more insight. I honestly just feel like her biggest thing would just be give her just a little bit more damage. So that way she doesn't have to rely on this as much. And that's about it. Really don't think of anything else she would really need. I mean, she's still a really good character regardless, so. Yeah, that's about it, I think. Moving on. And Kunoichi. This is also going to be a rather short one. Because in my opinion, Kunoichi is kind of in the same spot as Swiftmaster, and she's kind of alright in the spot she's in. She doesn't really need anything. I can't really think of anything that they would need to give her. I feel like she already has. She's already in a really good spot. Even if every other character in the game gets buffed, I honestly feel like she'd be able to keep her spot regardless. Because I feel like she's top 5 in the game. If every other character in the game got buffed but her, I honestly feel like she could still easily keep that top 5 spot. I really don't know what you could give to Kunoichi. Alright, next character. As a system change, don't skyrocket the hit stun decay just because you started with the light, just increase scaling. Yeah, that could also be a big universal buff. That'd help out everyone. Ghostblade, this character could use a little bit. For one, he doesn't have a DP, which I think is perfectly fine, but can make defense with him a little bit crazy to do, especially with the fact that every character, damn near every character in this game has a DP. There's only a few that don't. So I feel like the one change they could really do to Ghostblade that would greatly help is don't give him a DP. Like, let him. This teleport can stay. This teleport is really cool. It's a cool mechanic. I like the fact that you could like do stuff like this and teleport to the ghost. Like, that's all cool. But make it to where if you use the teleport raw like this, it has DP frames. So the startup of it is immune. So that way it can be used as a defensive option. If you are in the corner, you're able to DP out. Like, you have the same frames as a DP, you're just not doing damage. It's a pseudo DP, I guess you can call it. Like, I don't know if I'm explaining it correctly, but yeah, just giving him that I feel like would help him greatly. That would also be a cool little change, of making it to where you can kind of mess with the teleport, where if you hold the button and it goes backwards, that could be a cool thing they could change. Go back to initial position, so kind of like a double teleport. That could be something cool they could do. But yeah, I mean, maybe they could up Ghostblade's damage a little bit. I mean, all of his frames are rather quick, so I don't really think he needs frame data adjustment. I know some Ghostblades say that his moves don't connect correctly all the time, but I don't know about that. Like, I haven't seen it happen too much. Maybe make this. I don't know. Maybe you could make this to where if he teleports. Let's see. Reversal on. So if he does this move, let me. Component settings, guard all. Maybe make it to where if he does that and it's blocked, instead of being insanely negative, he's allowed to at least block. He can't hit, but he can at least block after it. Like, I don't know, maybe you could do that. If you 2M After 6M, the ghost switches to the JS animation, not JS. So 6M is this. Ah, okay. Yeah, that could work. Yeah, I mean, like, I feel like just giving Ghostblade pseudo DP with the teleport would help him out a lot, and then just maybe some damage adjustment, or not damage adjustment, but like scaling adjustments. And he's a brand new character that can easily compete with everyone else in this game. Like, I feel like that's about all he really needs. And with that, we are back at Hitman. So we've kind of gone through all the characters. I tried my best to get what I could get on the characters. Probably not the best explanations, but this is kind of what my predictions are for this. In terms of when I think the patch will come out, they usually have a big Nexon event during December for DNF, the franchise in general. And that's last year, that's when they like showed the official trailer for DNF Duel and such. So I feel like we're not going to get the patch until that event comes this year. I tried to look up when the event is, but I don't know what the event is actually called. And I haven't been able to find dates as to when the event is this year. So I looked up when the trailer was released last year, and it was December 19th, 2021. So I kind of have a feeling the patch will be coming out probably around that time. I think regardless, no matter what, we will not see this patch out until at least after December 15th. We'll probably get it around the 20th, 22nd, somewhere around there. I feel like 21st, 22nd, or maybe right after Christmas, like around the 28th or 29th before New Year's. I feel like those are the most likely times we'll see the patch. Because they did say just December. They didn't say early December. As far as I remember, they didn't say early December, late December. They just said December. So I feel like no matter what, we probably won't be seeing the patch until December 15th. And at least after that. And I don't think they're going to shadow drop it either. We'll probably get a full announcement like a week before. Like, hey, we're going to have an event here where you're going to receive patch information. And then they'll either drop the patch a day after or a couple days after that event, which is the big Nexon event that I was talking about. But yeah, those are my predictions in terms of what the DNF Duel update's going to be and when it's going to be coming out. Let me know in the comments below if you guys kind of agree with any of this stuff, what changes you would make, or when you guys think the update will come out. And other than that, I hope you guys have a great rest of your day after watching this video. Make sure you guys hit the like button, hit the subscribe button if you want to see more DNF Duel, Dragon Ball Fighters, or whatever else type of content I want to put out. And thank you all for watching this video, and I will see you all next time.